What's going on, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Howie Roseman and Nick Siriani just got done with their presser, so we're going to go over a little bit of that, talk about Smitty's extension a little more, and this draft. But first, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe for more content. I appreciate you guys so much for coming back. I appreciate you guys for being here all the time and listening to my shit. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Howie Roseman and Nick Siriani just got done talking. First thing that stood out to me was talking about Hassan Reddick. There's something going on with the Hassan Reddick thing that hasn't come out. It might not come out ever, but there's something going on there. Howie dodged that question like there was no tomorrow. He wanted no part of it. They tried to push him a little bit. They tried to get something out of him, but he really didn't want no part of it. He described it as a win-win. And the whole thing is just bizarre, trading for a pick 2 years down the road, conditional, the whole thing was weird. Let's hope we get a clear answer on that one day, because I'd really love to know what happened there, why you trade away a guy that's put up, 10 plus sacks in the past 2 years, still feel like is in his prime. He did shout out Nolan Smith, BG, Bryce Huff, some of the young guys in the rotation, yada, 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 but that's a whole lot of maybe, and you just got rid of one of your only sure things, so that still strikes me as really bizarre. The next thing that he talked about was trades. I think it is guaranteed that Howie's trading up in this draft. I don't think there's any way in hell he wants to pick in the 20s. I think he knows what his reputation is from pick 14 to 30. It's not good. I think he wants a top 15 player. I think he wants someone that can come in and contribute right now on defense. That's a game changer. He didn't really allude to who it would be. They talked a little bit about tackles. I'm now more convinced that we take a tackle in like the second or third round. Maybe someone falls due to injury concerns. I don't think it's going to be a first round tackle. Defensive end, on the other hand, pass rusher, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call it, that feels a lot more likely in the first round too. So I definitely expect them to take a game-changing defensive player, which can be a defensive end, but I think me, along with a lot of other people, would like to see another safety, a corner, a DB, someone who can really move around in coverage and help us out. He spoke on Trotter Jr., which feels like we're going after Trotter Jr. too. I think that's probably going to be a done deal. I think he's probably going to end up being a third rounder. We trade back to the end of the second or something and scoop him up. But, overall, they're looking for winning players, which obviously, every team's looking for studs and winning players. But, they're definitely driving home the fact that they are looking for intelligent players who want to play football, who enjoy playing football, and want to play for Philly, just want to play for a team that wants to go out and win. They spoke a little bit on Howie's ability to kind of focus on the long term and the short term. I feel like that kind of got swept under the rug, Great question by, I think it was Ruben Frank, if I remember correctly, but, to come out and ask him, about the longevity, of course Howie dodged it, I want to win now, blah, 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 but, to see him continuing to put resources into the future, I guess it goes back to the Hassan Reddick thing too. You always like to see something like that. That could be another potential second round pick down the line. You don't know who's going to get hurt this year, who we're going to lose. Lane could retire next season, and then all of a sudden that second round pick is pivotal in us trading up to get the replacement for Lane. You just never know what's going to happen. A pick like that and the ability to build for the future, it definitely is interesting to think about. Sometimes it feels like Howie's just playing Madden and he comes out and does these pressers and he's like, holy shit, this is real life, because that's kind of how it felt with the Hassan trade. You got an offer on the screen and you just kind of take it without thinking about it, and then you think about it later and you're like, shit, I shouldn't have done that. But, hey, if it, I end up down up Schitt's Creek later, trade that second for another pass rusher who comes available at the trade deadline, and then congratulations. Now, Hassan Reddick is replaced and nobody cares anymore. So, Nick Siriani very much took a back seat on this presser, which, as you'd expect, Howie doesn't talk much. So a lot of the questions are directed at Howie, but, I feel like Nick is just kind of sitting and waiting. I think a lot of people have talked shit about Nick. There's been a lot of people who have stuff to prove next year moving forward, but I think Nick has kind of put it all on himself. I see him brooding and listening and waiting, and you just can't help but think that, like, Nick Sirianni's got something planned. You know, he's going to do something big this year. And he expects big things from the players, and that's exactly what we need right now. You know, it's been a good offseason. You know, the Smitty extension is just kind of the icing on the cake. You expected him to get paid. A lot of people were starting to worry, but, you know, in reality, we did this very early. You got guys that were drafted a year before him that are still waiting to get paid. It's always a great idea to put guaranteed money in the bag. And watching Nightcap with Ocho Cinco and Shannon Sharp, Shannon Sharp brought up a great point. You know, get paid now, get paid early, and double down again later. You know, when he has 1 year left on his deal, he's going to be ready to get more guaranteed money. So, you know, it's a 3-year deal, and you got people talking about how it doesn't kick in for a year or two or whatever. But in 2.5, 3 years from right now, he's eligible for another extension. So, you know, while these other guys are waiting and waiting and waiting and just, you know, hoping for the biggest dollar amount they can, which is understandable, you know, Smitty looks to cash in twice, you know, before these guys even make it out of their first contract. So it's an interesting thing to think about. And, you know, we're really lucky that that was something he was interested in doing because, you know, the cap flexibility we're going to have on his contract moving forward, and just having Smitty moving forward, you know, 2 number 1 receivers, you can't ever be mad about it. That's pretty much it for me right now, guys. I'll rewatch the presser later. I'm sure there's stuff that I missed in there. If you feel like there's anything I missed, comment down below. Tell me what you think. As always, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Fly, Eagles, fly. Peace.